8 o'clock on the dot. Rise and shine, my friends. This is Coffee Talk. How you doing? It's a beautiful day out. The temperatures are a little cool. I stepped out the door this morning just to kind of get a look outside as we were getting the kids outside to head to school. And I was just like, this is a beautiful day. Like, this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. So, yeah. Hope you're enjoying. If not, let's get your day started off on the right note. I'm WESH 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. We raise our cup of Campeche, and we get the day started off nicely. A live look outside, see what's doing there under a mix of clouds and sunshine. There's Lake Dora. The sun is shining oh so brightly. Man, I mean, it's a day like this that you can't be upset. Let me take you up to Flagler County. Just see, I like the water, if you can't tell. So, like, oh, man. This weather stem camera in Marineland. That is so pretty. I could look at that all day. All right, Brevard, the sun's screaming in there on the lens. That's okay. And then Daytona Beach. Look at the birds. I can almost hear them chirping. I can almost hear it, right? Like, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. So no matter where you are in Central Florida, we do have clouds, but a live look in on our first warning Doppler radar is quiet. So you got to love that. Temperatures out the door, cooler, but not chilly. It's going to be beautiful outside. 62 our current temperature in Orlando, 60 degrees in Leesburg. It's 57 in Ocala and 59 outside in Palm Coast. So where do we go from here, y'all? We're not warming up all that much. It's looking good, isn't it? 64 degrees. 11 a.m., 67 by 1 p.m., and we're going to top off right about 70 degrees this afternoon. Do want to point out, though, it's going to be a pretty decent breeze today. Do I say breeze? Do I call it a gust? What do you think? Let's look outside at the winds right now. Campeche, yeah, I mean, it's already running 5, 10, 15. So it's already a day, right? Not a problem, but it's already a day, a nice breezy day. So gotta love that. Now, where do we go from here in terms of the winds? Let's look at Futurecast with the breeze, all right? 9, 10, 11 o'clock. You see that breeze picking up 15, 20 miles an hour. Kind of keeping it that way through the afternoon. It's not going to be like holy cannoli. Yesterday was gusty, so it's just going to be kind of on that same trend. But this breeze is ushering in that chill. 85 was our high temperature yesterday. 70 is our high temperature today. So there you go. Meanwhile, as Jan Holt points out on Facebook, the Northeast is getting slammed with snow, so I won't complain about a few clouds. Can concur on that. Yeah. Let's pull up the old national map here and just kind of get familiar. And we're looking good. That front has slid through our area, but look to the northeastern United States, right? You see those blues? That is winter precipitation. Our friends up north are dealing with significant snow. So give me a minute here. Let me turn the rate. Let me just kind of hit a couple of buttons and do all the fancy stuff. That's our live. Let me turn that off. Turn off the national composite. Or turn on the national composite. All right, so this and... I need to switch it to weather type. Hold on. HD precip type. Winter storm mosaic. There we are. NORAD, premium NORAD, just making sure I've got the highest resolution. Yeah, so that's the highest resolution for weather type. So, pretty decent snow falling. And that rain snow line is dropping, like even South Jersey. Atlantic City, do you get in on some snow? Be interesting to see. But, Manhattan, the city itself, is getting snow. Actually, I'm curious. Give me 2 seconds. Log in. Curious if I can get, I think I can get a live camera in New York. Of course, I didn't prep this. Dashboard. Let's do, okay, I got you. New York. I'm just curious what live cameras I can get in New York. And can I get it turned around quick enough to share with you all? Oh, man. All right, so I'm looking. These are suburbs at the moment. I know. I'm not doing this the right way. Bear with me. I'm just trying to find, like, Manhattan somewhere. That's Syracuse. Oh, my gosh. Do we literally not have any cameras in Manhattan? So this is Nassau County. Oh my God. All right, so y'all will laugh at this. Hold on one second. STEM. Give me 2 seconds. What I'm doing, I'm making the sausage. I know. Bear with me. All right, that's Lakefront Park. It's beautiful. Blah 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 blah. Nassau County, Nassau County, New York. Video configuration. Add streaming video camera. Name random weather stem. And then paste. Okay. Okay. I know, that's Raymond James. I clicked Raymond James instead of random weather stem. Here we are. All right. Just saying, like, that is a live look up there right now. Like, it's snowing. Yeah. It's snowing. Okay, now I can talk to you again as I've dialed that up and I'm like, yeesh. Yeesh McGeesh. That's one of those cool things, by the way, is having access to these weather stem cameras because we can pull stuff up that's not necessarily local in Central Florida. Carol says no school. Yeah, I heard this morning Al Roker talking about, like, give them a school day. Brian says, pretty picture to look at, but they can have it. And I agree. Like, that's them. This is our tower cam. Melbourne, couple of clouds over top, right? Like, that's their weather stem. This is our weather stem. So, suffice to say, a little different depending on where in the United States. And thus, it's looking good. Hold on a second. Oh, wow. Okay, so Kellyanne Class just texted me. I know you're going to make fun of me about being about a squirrel. But she said, look at the Melbourne Tower Cam and tell me if I'm dreaming. Is that a B2? It's a 747. That looks like the tush of a 747 to me. She's talking, I assume she's talking about this thing. Hold on, y'all. I have to text her. I think she's talking about that guy right there. The 4 engines, I believe, give it away. Right? Any other Av nerds? Anyway. All right. So, enough. We've just been talking for 10... Y'all have been talking for 10 minutes just yentering it up. Carol says, that's why I live where I live. Debbie says, Nassau County, where I grew up. You want to go back? I don't think so. All right. So, we know that the pollen is a disaster right now. Not even close to being fun. Doesn't take a meteorologist to be able to tell you that's continuing, right? High allergy levels these next couple of days. Yeah. Yeah. You know, with the pollen the way it is currently and my allergies trying to kill me, the snow looks lovely. You can go. I mean, yeah, it's... You got to pick your poison, right? Like, that's the way I look at it. So, it's okay. It's okay. Brian's asking about the Daytona 500. So, we came up with this graphic yesterday to kind of talk about the weather impacts for the big races. So, we've got the blue-green duels on Thursday, low weather impact. Friday, the Fresh from Florida 250, low impact. It's looking more like Saturday is going to be the wetter day, and Sunday is going to trend better. So Saturday's weather impact is running high, whereas the Sunday weather impact is medium. So actually, for the moment, we're looking a little better. Let's discuss kind of that weather pattern, as it were, okay? That storm system still gearing up in the Gulf of Mexico. Old frontal boundary over. So that's Saturday night. Rain over top of us. Then as we push into Sunday, that moisture's looking to clear out. Okay. By the way, that snapshot that you're looking at, it says, notice that I have the timestamp disappearing as it gets to this last frame, but that model data there is 3 p.m. And if that trend continues, the 500 is looking excellent. Now that this is coming more and more into focus, this is looking better and better for Sunday. And I love that. So let's do this. Let's chat a little bit about the models, and now we can kind of take it a little more. So there's Saturday, warm southerly wind, right? Heavy rains moving in Saturday afternoon, our northern areas, and it's kind of looking like Saturday evening, lots of rain, into early Sunday, lots of rain. But watch what happens. By 10, 11 o'clock, according to the GFS model, that moisture's pulling away, and through the afternoon and evening, we are looking fantastic. What about the European model? A little different here. Saturday morning clouds, bringing that moisture in through Saturday afternoon. Okay, Sunday early morning, it's there. Sunday mid-morning, it's there. Lunchtime Sunday, still raining. Afternoon Sunday, still raining. So you've really got two very different model outputs. Ugh, stressful. What about how much rain could fall? All right. Stress. Obviously, the European would give us more rainfall because it's the wetter of the model runs for right now. So for right now, the American GFS model kind of wanting to focus more on North Florida for some heavier stuff, whereas the European is kind of going with much more. So did you catch that? Did you catch that? So for right now, to be honest, it's Tuesday morning. We're hedging our bets. We're definitely hedging our bets, saying Saturday's got a high weather impact for the United Rentals 300. For right now, we haven't dropped it to low. Sunday is still medium weather impact. We'll have to see how this plays out. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? How you've got the GFS really wanting to clear things out by Sunday. The European taking its sweet time. Like there's most of the heavy stuff would be south of us, but it's just going to depend. So for right now, I think that we're right on par for this is a storm system that's moving in. We have to figure out its intensity. We have to figure out its timing. But the United Rental 300 and the Daytona 500 have a rain threat. It's just a matter of exactly which model ends up playing out. So when we look at the forecast here, the 7-day forecast, it's rain. Jerry's asking which model has been more reliable as of late with frontal systems. Each weather pattern plays out differently. Brian, FYI, just so you know, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to dry the track after the rain stops completely. Exactly. And so that's why timing is everything, etc., etc. So we'll have to observe, We'll have to observe and see how this is. Is Monday President's Day? It is, which means we need to add that icon there. Yep. I'll add it. Hold on. Kellyanne's working. Hold on one second. Adding the President's Day icon to the 7-day forecast period. So just a heads up period. Hold on. All right. Let me just do this. Stand by. The sausage being made. Copy. Paste. I'm going to add, by the way, one of my things that I'm going to do today is I'm going to add the Daytona 500 icon to the 7-day forecast as well. All right. We'll do it there. All right. That way it fades on at the appropriate time. All right. You like that? Does that look good? I'll raise it up just a little bit. All right. There's your President's Day icon. Thinking. All right. Very good. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Anybody have anything? Is there a severe weather threat for Saturday, or is it too early to tell? So for right now, it just doesn't look like that. Yeah, it just doesn't look like that. Mickey's asking, has the previous cycles of the GFS been trending toward a drier Sunday? Yeah, it's kind of focusing more South Florida, which makes sense. And also, it's shifted a little early, which makes sense, fitting my pattern almost to a T. And I will add, yesterday was a big day for me in the hurricane forecast department because I want to say that I got about 85% done with our hurricane season forecast. And if you're unfamiliar, shameless plug, don't at me. I don't care. I put in so much work to this. Yesterday, got 85% done with it. Need to just continue to hone it in. And then I need to get Jeremy Nelson to put in his forecast so that we can compare notes. But March the 1st. Can I tell you, by the way, talking about March the 1st, can I share with you? So my news director, I've known my news director almost 20 years. She and I worked together in West Palm Beach at WPBF. So we go way back when we were just but children. Now we have our own children. Separately, of course. But she put out a coverage plan. Let me tell you what our coverage plan is for the long-range forecast. I'm going to be doing stories in the newscast. Sonica Donge is interviewing me in the 9 a.m. newscast. So here's where we're going to be at, okay? I'm debuting the hurricane forecast right here on Coffee Talk, March the 1st, 8 a.m. Okay? 8 a.m. Then, and by the way, that day's Coffee Talk will be live streamed on wesh.com. After that, at 9 a.m., they're going to send a push alert out on the app with my full write-up article. Okay? And I'll be on Wesh 2 News at 9 on CW18. Sonica is going to be interviewing me. And then I'll have 2 stories airing through the day. So we're going all in on this year's hurricane season forecast. Love that. Love that. Live stream on the app, does that mean no going off the track? Debbie, on Coffee Talk Hurricane Forecast Day, we don't usually go off the rails. We do usually have to focus in, but yeah. Daniel, can you give us a tease of the hurricane season predictions? All right. Does anybody in the class want to share with Daniel? Does anyone in the class want to share with Daniel where we are? Because I'd like to think we have a pretty good idea of what hurricane season's hotspots are going to be like this year. Does anybody want to share? Tiffany says the Gulf. Tiffany, I think you might be right. Susie says Gulf. Sonia says the Gulf is going to be a hot spot to watch. This, by the way, is last year's hot spots. Notice who was not. This is last year's hot spots and landfalls. Notice who was not a hot spot. The Gulf. Who did not get hit? The Gulf. Lauren says the Gulf. Mickey says the Gulf. Terry says the Gulf. So there you go. So last year's hot spots and landfalls. This year's going to be different. And I'll show you. I sent this to my former intern. We were chatting about the hurricane forecast. And I said, draft 1 of the new forecast. Draft 1 is done. Draft 1 is done. Did I just show you something? Yep, I might have. What? So anyway, there you go. March the 1st. You see how I tease? I tease because I love. Gisela, why did that feel like a pop quiz? Correct. Yeah. Yeah, March the 1st. Jeannie says the poor Gulf. I know. Did anybody pick up on that little thing I just snuck in there to show you? Anybody pick up on that? I did just kind of tease something. Draft 1, huh? Draft 1 showed something. What? Bezo, yup. Yeah. Betty got it. All right, so there you go. I kid. That's right. Another thing that's kind of interesting, and we'll have Jeremy Nelson on Coffee Talk that day, but one thing that is kind of interesting is how we are using analogs to look at El Nino to La Nina, and there's some really interesting little pieces to that part of the puzzle. So that's going to be another thing to watch. Cindy says, missed it. I'll catch it on the replay. It's a draft. Mickey on YouTube picked it up. It's a draft, so it's not finalized yet. It's my first draft, but my first draft is done. Mickey on YouTube picked it up, though. I'm not going to repeat it for all my Facebook friends. You guys get to go dig it up. We'll see. I'd like to say that I feel like this year we have been far more transparent about it than ever. Bezo's laughing. Bruce, I love it. When do your Tuesday hurricane talks start again? Well, hurricane season. But right now, we're both feverishly working on the forecast. And a big part of it is going to be La Nina, El Nino, that sort of thing. Jan says, we will see the viewers jump from 200 to 2,000. Bets anyone? Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, we will. Right now, we've got over 300 viewers, though, on all the platforms. I don't know each individual one. Debbie, I did not get my flippin' replacement mug. They told me to restart the mug, and then I told them I've been trying to restart the mug, and then I haven't heard back from them in about a month. So I'm really quite disappointed in their customer service. But I digress. Oh, man. Cindy says, well, yeah, because we've learned how you do it, so we pick up on the clues. Well, and I feel like the more we discuss this, the more armed with information you all are, which, frankly, is my goal anyway. So, yeah. I love that. I love that we're super transparent. You'll see the blobs that I'm going to draw for hotspots. But yeah. Jamie, so is this year we get a Cat 6 and a Cat 7? No. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing a Cat 6 and a Cat 7. I actually did a story on it. We're not doing a Cat 6 or a Cat 7. All right, while we're just entering it up, I'll pop up the 7-day forecast just so that we're all on the same page here with the actual forecast. But yeah, no Cat 6, no Cat 7. But you know what's interesting is the part of the weather pattern this weekend, 540 line. Priscilla, I love that we're talking about thickness. The weather pattern coming this weekend is the last part of will be the last feature in my hurricane forecast to cycle through before the forecast. And March 1st is day 48 of the cycle. So it will be the last day of the third cycle. So this year we get 3 full cycles before putting the forecast out. So I'm going to have to watch this weekend storm system very carefully just to get it. But yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. We need a race car icon on Sunday. Yes, Debbie, I'm going to put the actual logo on there. Susie says, exactly. I don't think any of us will be surprised by the forecast. We all appreciate all your hard work and dedication. Thank you very much. I would say you won't be surprised by it, but it will. The one thing we're not really getting into a deep dive are the dates yet, and the one thing we're not really getting into a deep dive are the numbers. So that's the part that's going to be new, right? But like the hotspots, we have a pretty good idea of where they'll be. And I showed a couple of people at work the hotspot draft yesterday, and they're like, oh, good. So you've got everybody in Hurricanes Basin highlighted. And I'm like, no, I don't. But that's just them giving me grief. So whatever. Oh, well. It is what it is. It is what it is. Jim says, I'm not ready to let go of these mild temps. I ordered yesterday the solar. So I have a solar blanket for my pool so that when I turn the heater on, it doesn't just evaporate like crazy. And yesterday I ordered the roller to help me with because the old one just died in the sun. And I sent it to the wife and she's like, oh, pool season must be right around the corner. Meanwhile, checking back in on Nassau County, still snowing. Yep. Brian, I mean, El Nino, it's not that El Nino hasn't been predictable. We're going to switch back to La Nina. We've done a lot of studying on the transition between El Nino and La Nina here the last couple of weeks to dial that into our hurricane season forecast. It's switching, and what we have found is usually it switches hard, and I think it's kind of an interesting thing. All right, I'll share with you the golden example that stuck out. So you see, you're prying information out of me, people. So one big part of hurricane season's forecast is the switch from a current El Nino state to a La Nina. This year's El Nino is very strong, so that had to be dealt with. One interesting analog or comparison year was 98. 98, we had a very strong El Nino. Anybody know what 1998's hurricane season looked like? Does anybody know? I'm going to pull up the Wikipedia. Anybody know what that looked like? Copy image address. I'll show you the 1998 hurricane season. So remember, 1998, we went from a strong El Nino into a La Nina. You curious to see what that hurricane season looked like? There are the paths for the 1998 hurricane season. It was an active one, believe it or not. So that's actually an analog for us for this year's hurricane forecast. And as I'm looking at it, my first thoughts are, yup. So anyway, just one of those interesting things. I want you to know that we work really hard on the hurricane season forecast. We use a lot of different elements. A lot of different elements. No, 96, I think, was Aaron. I think, Steph, I think, was it 96 was Aaron? I remember Aaron, but it wasn't 98. 98 was Earl. Earl was 98. George was the strong storm that year. Bonnie was a strong storm that year. And there was a Charlie that year, but he was a tropical storm. A little wimpy thing. Yeah. Was Floyd 99? I believe it was the year after Rita. Yeah. Mitch was 98. Yep. Tiffany with the dang memory, y'all. Wow. Mitch. Yeah. Brian, if I remember right, 15 total named storms, 5 tropical storms, 6 hurricanes, 4 majors. Oh my God, you're going to make me look this up right at this second? So, seasonal summary. 14 storms, 10 hurricanes, 3 majors, I believe. Yeah. So anyway, this is parts of the pattern that are going into, this is parts of the information that are going in. So yeah. Just so you know, like there's a lot of work that goes into this forecast. So I promise it's not a half efforted thing. I really do put my heart and soul into this, and today's going to be another one of those hurricane season forecast days. All right, so March the 1st, be there or be square. We'll have it on WESH 2. I'm going to be like on WESH 2 News, like every politician dreams of being on newscasts that day. I'm going to be all over, baby. I'm going to be like Visa, everywhere you want to be. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? On the first day of hurricane season, an area gave to me a storm over Campeche. Oh, I like that, Tammy. Speaking of which. All right, questions? Anything? Before we run, Lucas, heading to Universal on Saturday. What impacts can we expect? Timing. Right now it's rain. Doesn't look severe, but it does look like rain, so plan for that. Poncho, but at least it'll be a quieter-ish park, so there's that. Any news on the possible once-in-a-lifetime experience? Yes. Working through some doctor things, but we're working on it. We'll get there. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I won't be square. I'll be around. All right, last look. Still snowing. Okay. There's that. Oh, man. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you all so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you later on. I'm going to be working on that hurricane forecast. Put it in your calendars. Friday, March the 1st. I'll be in Huntsville, but we'll still be doing our thing. All right. Take care.